Hello, hello, hello. So it is like January 16th. It is Friday. And I was just out here a couple days ago. I knew I had to get back out this way, and it had been a while since I was out here. And what I originally thought was like 7 or 8 years ago turned out to be like at least 10 years ago, I believe. And when I used to hike out here years ago, it was nowhere near as clear as it is today out here. They came through here about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and they completely cleaned out thousands and thousands of trees, okay, for hundreds and hundreds of acres. And I could get really off track here with all the stories that I've had over the last 10 to 13 years hiking out here in all seasons, along with all the other forest preserves. But I was basically in a crystal bowl ceremony like 10 years ago. And the crystal bowl ceremony practitioner had one of these huge things. It's like a magnum, like something for champagne or wine. And I don't remember if I had seen this before the ceremony started or if I opened my eyes while he was going around the room at one point. But he put this thing right over my, solar plexus and heart chakra. And I was reclined in a zero gravity chair, meditating in the room with a few others. He had been playing the bowls and whatnot. And as he went around the room hitting this thing, it was my turn. Like I was up. And I could feel him close to me, and I could feel him hovering over my chest or my body. And when he hit this thing, boom, white light, pure white light just exploded within me everywhere in every direction. And it all radiated out like a circle. Concentric rings, boom, 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 just like throwing a rock into a pond or something, right? So I was like, wow, that was amazing. That was beautiful. That was insane. And I go home that night, cleaned out, cleared out, cleansed out, connected, whatever, all good to go. I come out here like a day or two later on a winter hike. It's balls cold, just like it is now and just like it was 2 days ago. And I happened upon this very spot. And I want to say I had seen it before, and it would fill in with water years ago, or rainwater, or snow melt, or whatever. But when I had come out here that day, it was a perfect circle. And with all the fresh snow, there were all these concentric rings just radiating out in the snow. And as I stood there and I took all these photos, and you can find it on my original Instagram, Peter Trottier, because I posted it 8, 9, 10 years ago, whatever. I stood here completely baffled. I could not figure out, how did these concentric rings form? It wasn't the wind. It wasn't like a spring of water came up and created this in the snow or, through pressure. There were no footprints out here at all from animals or people or, like a fake crop circle type thing. And I just stood there admiring it from all directions. And I'm like, that is just so fucking typical of how the universe, Source, Gaia, Mother Earth, nature, my team connects with me and sends me messages. They reconfirm it through nature, or I see it in nature and then it's reconfirmed elsewhere. So of course I took the photos and brought them back to that metaphysical shop at the time and shared them with the shop owner and the practitioner and some people, and they were just blown away too. They were like, how does that form? How does that happen? I go, I don't know. And I've never really seen it out here again to this day, or in any of the other forest preserves, or there's snow on a lake, snow on a pond, or I'm walking across ice or snow that has settled over an area. So coming out here 2 days ago, I was looking for a particular batch of trees. And the trees, when I happened upon them years ago, were already in their dying and decaying stages. And, the bark was falling off, and there were all the squiggles and lines from all the termites eating. And, they were white and gray and silver and brown and tan and black. But all these trees were like in a perfect row. And I called them like the elders, the guides, because at the time, all that writing on the trees blew me away. And I'm like, I know it's termites and insects and little bugs, but it resonated. It meant something to me, and I couldn't understand what it was. it was years later through my teacher and guru and other people that I learned about light language and speaking light language and writing light language and channeling. And it hit me. That's what it was. It was like seeing light language. It was like something my soul just knew or remembered. So I came out here 2 days ago looking for those trees, and they're a disaster. They've been burned out. They've been broken down. They're covered in snow. You know, there's stumps or pieces, and some are burned, and I can see they were part of the controlled burnout here, or getting hit by lightning, or just whatever happened. But that's why the other day they told me there's new elders. So coming here to the ring, to the circle the other day, the portal, and experiencing and seeing everything that I saw and felt, I was like, whoa, because everything has changed out here. It's been like 10 years now, right, since that first experience. So more stuff has fallen to the ground from the trees above or has died off. More stuff has died around here, making it very hard to get in unless you come in from the very back. A lot of things seem bigger or like they've expanded. And then other stuff, of course, has grown or has been left alone to grow on top of things they cleaned out and cleared out. And even right now, as I'm sitting here, I see the pyramid. I see why earlier today they told me to back up and go up the hill and take a view, because it's like being within a portal, a pyramid. My higher self, past self, has had a lot to do with the pyramids on this planet, as well as other planets, and traveling and sending energy to and from and recycling energy on planets through my fucking bare hands, hence the term Earth 33 energies. It's kind of like what I do out here. I clear energy, I clear the land, I clear things, and I've done that in a higher form in the past, because it's what they've shown me over the earth, through the pyramids, through energy. And that's partially where that name came from years ago, even before I had had the experiences to help explain where that name came from. So it's always interesting how it all works out. I knew a couple days ago I had to come out here again and record that story about being out here 8, 9, 10 years ago, 11 years ago maybe. Time is so confusing. I could look it all up and I could timestamp it, because I have the photos and everything on my Instagram. But things change. Things have changed out here. And it was just a trip being out here the other day. I knew I had to come back, and that's why I'm here today. And that's why when they told me to climb the hill, I'm seeing the pyramid now and seeing other things. So I did a little offering. I did my meditation. I did my grounding. I did my connecting. I received what I needed to receive, I believe, and I put out what I needed to put out. No sooner am I popping up and they're reminding me and telling me you're going to be back again, which, go figure, I know that. And then there's some other reasons to come out here again. So this is probably the first video I've done in 6 to 8 months easily. It's easily my first video, of course, for 2026. I may pop this on my YouTube and probably my Earth 33 Energies with the photos from the other day. But this is just me getting a little bit back into my groove and telling a little bit and speaking a little bit of my truths, and just doing what I can. So I hope everybody can hear this. I've got the AirPods in. I hope this view is different, and I want to get out of here soon. I got up here so quick today. I think it took me 55, took about 55 minutes to get here, but the road was plowed, the black ice was gone. I made really good time. I was calling in a sign for my team to make sure, you know, I'd be protected and connected, and sure enough, a huge white peregrine falcon flew over on the way up, and then the other 20, 25, 30 minutes or so getting out here. That was pretty clean. Ran into some obstacles, found out the way I thought would be easier was not easier, because outside of this ring, there's so much dead growth and so many trees that have fallen down and so many thorns and vines and thorns and vines. It's just insane. So I'm rambling, I'm talking crazy. I'm going to wrap this up. Peace, love, and light to all of you under the 10-minute mark. But that's a little bit about the portal here. It's a little bit about what's going on. My brain is completely tripping out again. I've been fasting all day. All I've had is my coffee and my water. I got out here feeling really good. Now my brain's completely tripping. So I'm going to get out of here. Take me about an hour to get back or so. Peace, love, and light to all of you. I hope you are all well. And thanks for dealing with me talking 100 miles a minute as this just completely flows and channels. Peace, love, and light to all of you. Have a good weekend. God bless you. Happy 2026 Year of the Horse. Namaste.